Hi, this is the story of how the art gallery became their headquarters, second front basically. So here you can see the outside of the Civic Centre. Why choose a building as vulnerable as this? You can see the bombing that took place in 1940, and the US Army had their headquarters on the first floor in the art gallery rooms, despite the reservations of the British. The British narration story is that they recommended Southampton, which is not nonsense. As you can see, the British were, if anything, against the Americans moving to Southampton because they feared that before they got anywhere they would lose their only ally because it was so vulnerable to enemy attack. This is the plaque that's over the alcove in the art gallery that was hidden in plain sight. Presented by the 14th Major Port US Army in acknowledgement of the generosity of the Borough of Southampton, which during the mayoralty of Rex Stranger gratuitously provided this section of the Civic Centre for use as the headquarters of the port. It was from the officers established here that orders emanated directing the movement of the vast American armies through Southampton and other south coast ports between the 6th of June and the end of hostilities, for the Operation of Europe. So that confirms that it was the headquarters, because all the ports to the west of Southampton were controlled by the Americans. All the ports these were British and Allied ports. The only exception was Southampton, which was used by both. And what they had to do is come to an agreement between them, and they had daily meetings to establish who would have which ships would be loaded by whom. You might think that this was purely an American dictate, but in actual fact what happened was at one point the Americans were in such a muddle that their commanding officer went to the British and said, look, we're in trouble here, you take our boats, you take our ships and landing craft, because we're in a muddle. But they sorted themselves out, because as I was saying before, BUCO, the Build Up and Control Organisation, was located in the Civic Centre. This is a letter, this is the start of the whole thing. It's a letter says that further to our conversation in December, informed that he wanted to take over the galleries 6, 7 and 8, the old woodwork room, portion of the sculptor's room, the old art school, and something room, together with toilet and cloak room on the basement floor, and certain units of be used by certain units of the US Army. The reasons underlying the above requests have been explained to His Honour Mayor Stranger. I don't think they said we're going to be the headquarters on D-Day, and as I've tried to explain before, what happened when they first arrived in the UK, this unit was split amongst ports, and it was only as it got nearer D-Day that they realised that Southampton was the best port for the invasion fleet, the double high tide, so on and so forth, that the 14th port was consolidated there. And as I say, as D-Day got closer, so the sub-ports all along the west coast all came under the control of the headquarters at Southampton. So it really was the headquarters for the US Army. I understand that the Mayor has kindly arranged for certain rooms and part of the basement of the Civic Centre. This is the Town Clerk speaking. I understand certain work to be done. I only received a letter of the 19th, which upon I've commented, the worshipful the Mayor Stranger, blah blah blah, which is specified in your free of charge. That was the thing I mentioned before, that in the banner, the plaque above the door, it says gratuitously, and in one of these letters that you can see in the archives, I hope they've still got them there, on the back in pencil, they've had a discussion about whether they should charge the Americans for using, and that's why they used the word gratuitously in that panel above the door. With reference to I missed that one. Do apologise, but you can come back and read that for your own self. And there's some comment at the bottom. With reference to our letter dated blah blah, the section taken up is blah blah blah. Accommodation in Civic. With reference to Mr. Bishop's interview with the superintendent of the Civic Centre yesterday. Anyway, you can go back and read those letters for yourself.